If you sit down in your speaking exam and tell the examiner, I have been loving Shawn Mendes, you aren't just making a grammar mistake.
Yeah.
You're basically telling them your love has an expiration date.
Right, yeah. Which is definitely not the message you want to send about your favorite artist.
Exactly.
I mean, it reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of how English categorizes human emotion versus physical action.
So true. Welcome to today's deep dive. Our mission today is extracting the essential grammar secrets from the grade 11 textbook, Get Involved, specifically Unit 1, Making Music.
Yeah, we're looking at present perfect versus present perfect progressive, question tags, and questions with prepositions.
Right, we're going to bypass all that rote memorization and decode the hidden psychology of how English speakers actually communicate, which, by the way, is exactly what you need to ace your upcoming exam.
Absolutely, because when you understand the underlying mechanism of a rule, well, you don't have to memorize it anymore. It just kind of makes sense.
So let's test that theory on the heaviest hitter on the syllabus. The battle of the timeline tenses. Present perfect versus present perfect progressive.
Oh boy. Yeah, the big one.
Right. So we're taught that present perfect focuses on the result of an action, while the progressive focuses on the duration. So if we use a music analogy, present perfect is like the finished album dropping.
Right, it's out there. Like, I have seen that band live.
Exactly. But the progressive is the ongoing studio jam sessions. So they've been making music for years.
That is the core distinction, yeah. English uses the progressive to emphasize the sweat, the time, and really the continuous effort of an action.
Wait, I'm stuck on something then. If the progressive is specifically designed for ongoing duration, why can't I say, I have been loving this band? I mean, loving a band is an ongoing duration, isn't it?
It sounds logical, I know, but English draws a really strict boundary between physical actions and states of being. We call words like know, love, or want state verbs.
Okay, state verbs, got it.
Right. So think about the mechanism. You can consciously start and stop playing the guitar on a dime, but you cannot consciously start and stop knowing a fact or loving a song.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I guess you can't just turn it off.
Exactly. Because states of being can't be turned on and off like a faucet, they completely reject the progressive tense. You have to say, I've loved this singer since I was young.
That makes total sense. It's not an action I'm performing. It's just, a state I exist in.
Exactly right.
So for the exam, if you spot a state verb, drop the progressive immediately. Also, look out for time clues. Like words like recently and lately are basically flashing neon signs pointing toward the progressive.
Yeah, they really emphasize that ongoing effort.
Right. But absolute words like ever or never, well, they point straight to the simple present perfect.
So tenses dictate how we report our own experiences. But a huge part of your exam evaluates how you interact with others.
Oh, yeah. Like how do you pull the listener into the conversation and, check if they agree with you?
Right. That requires a completely different mechanism, question tags.
Ah, the good old flip-flop rule from the textbook. So an affirmative sentence gets a negative tag. Like music has that effect, doesn't it?
Yep. And a negative sentence gets an affirmative tag. So she hasn't bought the tickets, has she?
Right. It's pretty straightforward on paper.
It is. It's essentially a conversational double negative designed to create social harmony. But the written rule is really only half the story here.
Okay, I love a good secret. What's the other half?
Well, the real secret for the speaking exam is your intonation. English uses pitch to signal whether a conversational loop is open or closed.
Oh, so it's like a game of verbal ping pong.
Exactly like that.
Like if my voice goes up at the end of the tag, I'm leaving the ball in your court. I genuinely need an answer. So you don't know the way to the museum, do you?
Yeah, and my ear immediately registers that upward inflection as an open loop. Like, I have to supply information now.
Right, you have to answer me.
But if your voice goes down, that's a spike. You are closing the loop. You aren't asking a real question. You're just demanding validation for something we both already know.
Oh, like saying, the weather's horrible today, isn't it?
Precisely. The examiner is listening to the melody of your sentence to see if you actually understand the social cue you're deploying.
Which brings up another conversational quirk that absolutely terrifies test takers. Dangling prepositions.
Oh, yes. Leaving little words like to, for, or about hanging at the very end of a sentence.
Why do we even do that? It feels so wrong when you write it.
Well, there's actually a historical reason for this. Centuries ago, scholars tried to force English to behave like Latin, where ending a sentence with a preposition was strictly impossible.
Oh, I see. But English isn't Latin.
No, it's a Germanic language, so we naturally rebel against that formal structure.
Right, so saying, for whom is this present, It just makes you sound like a Victorian ghost.
Exactly. You just want to say, who is this present for?
Right. That sounds way more natural.
We specifically leave them at the end when dealing with phrasal verbs or dependent prepositions. Take the phrase, turn off.
Okay, turn off.
Right. The word off belongs to the verb turn, not the object. So you ask, did you turn the computer off?
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's the same with dependent prepositions, right? Like verbs that are permanently glued to specific prepositions.
Yes, exactly. You listen to music.
Yeah.
So the natural question is, what kind of music do you normally listen to?
So trying to sound too formal by dragging that preposition to the front of the sentence will actually hurt your conversational flow in the exam.
100%. Let them hang at the end where they belong.
Just let them hang. I love that.
So if we synthesize all of this into an exam attack plan, you basically want to respect the boundary of state verbs.
Right. No progressive for state verbs.
And use the flip-flop math for your question tags.
Up for a question, down for agreement.
Yep. Control the ping-pong game of your intonation and embrace the natural preposition-dangling rhythm of spoken English.
It really changes how you look at the language.
It really does.
I mean, if grammar rules are the underlying code we use to program human connection, it makes you wonder, how much does forcing yourself to follow a rigid, unnatural rule actually block genuine communication?
That is a fascinating way to look at it.
Definitely something for you to think about as you prep for that exam. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.